Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's presentation, Movie Production Strategy for Singfa & Co. Movie Studio. This is the agenda for today. We will start with the overview of the project and deep dive into our approach and analysis and ends up with recommendations. This is the team, consisting of Camila, Bella, Yingkai, and myself. Let's start with the overview of the project. Since 2012, the US film business has increasingly embraced high-cost productions. The share of production budgets over $20 million has climbed from roughly 20% in 2012 to 55% in 2018. As a result, the average film budget climbed by 12% from $25 million in 2014 to $35 million in 2018. As the industry becomes more capital intensive, large-sized studios like Universal's and Disney's will gradually gain a competitive advantage, while small to medium-sized movie production studios like Singfa & Co. will be pushed down. Before we go into the problem, let's go over the client's history, Singfa & Co. So Singfa & Co. is a film production company based in the US. The company, which was founded in 1989, employs 235 people and specialized in action and sci-fi productions. However, when the business situation became unfavorable to Singfa & Co., the company gradually lost its market competitiveness. Worse, the studios was unable to raise new funds through private equity or MMA. As a result, Singfa & Co. can only make one more film. To assist Singfa & Co. in resolving the problem, we asked ourselves, how can Singfa & Co. best utilize its restricting budget to maximize its successful rate? And here's how we're going about it. Our team has decided to analyze data from imdb.com, the largest movie rating website in the world, to identify the best practices in the industry. We have extracted more than 6,000 movies from 1986 to 2016. We wanted to examine how 5 variables can influence gross margins, which is the box office, that being budget, rating, duration of the movie, score, and vote. So now, I will pass on to Camila to talk about how we analyze the data.
So our first thing off that we actually, to determine if our model is relevant or not, is to understand if the scatters are random or not. And as we can see, it's mostly random aside from a few outliers over here. And we can understand from our independent and dependent variables, independent being gross log and dependent being score, budget log, year, votes log, and runtime, that is random. Next step is actually to look at our R-squared. We can see that our regression model explains 53.4% of variability in gross profit, which is okay. And second off is looking at the p-value. So our p-value is almost 0, so chance of false positive. So our regression model can be statistically significant because of that. The other factor we need to look is the t-statistic. So we can determine through that the most significant variables. And in this case, they are votes, score, and runtime respectively. And last but not least, we can also look at our lower and upper bounds and actually determine if the lower and upper bounds includes 0, which make and we have evidence that are proof that these factors are not or are significant. In this case, we can see that budget ratings it cannot be significant in this case. But I will let Bella talk to you a little bit more about the regression model findings.
Thank you, Camila. And now we'll discuss the most influential variables based on our analysis. Total votes are the most significant factor correlated with the movie's growth, followed by the IMDb score and the film's running time. First of all, the 1% change in total votes result in a 1.1% increase in the movie's growth. This is the same as our intuition. Logically, more people voting for the movie means that the movie is more popular, resulting in a higher box office. Secondly, we found that as the IMDb score increases by 1 point, the movie's gross earning decreases by 63.7%. In other words, the higher the score, the lower the box office. For example, the movie The Shawshank Redemption has the highest IMDb rating of any other movies in decades, but its total box office is far lower than other competing films at the same period. This could be another proof that many Oscar-winning films have failed to achieve commercial success. Lastly, the duration of the movie will also be positively correlated with its revenue. When runtime increases by 1 minute, the movie's growth increases by 1%. A well-known case is the film King Kong, which had a movie length of more than 3 hours with a high box office. Another possible reason is that popular movies are sometimes released in extended versions or director's cuts, which will also contribute to the final revenue. Further, if a movie is too long, it may crowd out other movies in the theater. So cinemas may charge higher ticket prices for too long movies. However, the length of a movie cannot be extended indefinitely, and audience fatigue and theater limitation are also factors that need to be considered. Next, Yankai will talk about our recommendations.
Thank you, Bella. Now we are going to our final part, the recommendation. So given the constraints faced by ThinkFat and Corporation, which one is that they are unable to obtain new capital, and the other is that they only have the capacity to produce one more film. So here are the key insights for the company from IMDb's data perspective. First, for runtime aspect, as much as the budget can be utilized, we recommend that the duration of this movie should be longer than the industry standard. For a common duration of 90 to 120 minutes, ThinkFat and Corporation could select a 120-minute film. As for score aspect, as shown on above slides, score on IMDb is a reverse indicator of a gross profit, which a production team of ThinkFat and Corporation should not take it into concern and focus on the qualities of a film instead. As for vote aspect, for the media and the promotion team of ThinkFat and Corporation, it would be wise to engage audience more through digital marketing campaigns and build online communities to encourage more votes, comments, review, or even sharings. So that is all from our presentation, and thank you for the listening.